Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We're continuing our Inktober, where I'm hoping that I will get enough videos to do a video a day every day of October of these black and white for Inktober. This is going through by still also posting the regular videos that I do every day. So we're essentially going to have two videos throughout the month of October, for most of October. Most of you know that I don't do videos for the weekends, so I just do Monday through Friday. And so, but in this case, I am trying to work ahead. I have also a surgery coming up that is probably going to lay me up for a week. So I really am trying to work ahead of time. I can't guarantee that I'm going to get 31 issues or 31 videos of stuff done, but hey, so far so good. So, um, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 20 from 1989. I've done Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 17 and did 19. I'm doing the Return of New York trilogy, so this is the second of that. It is written by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. The pencils are by Jim Lawson. The inker of this issue is Eric Talbot, and the inker on um, the last issue was Peter Laird. And so here we go. This cover is by Jim Lawson. And you know what? I screwed up in the last video. This is the one that I was referring to. This double page spread is the greatest double page spread I have ever seen. So this is my fault on the previous. I thought it was the next issue that this was in. So I want to talk about this double page spread in just a moment here, or not. Sorry, in just a moment, for just a minute. Okay, so the first thing is first. This is done in duotone paper, and we have inks and duotones and white media and every possible thing you can possibly have here. I don't know if, what would have happened if they hadn't left some white media here, because let me tell you, they put everything that you can possibly do to ink this image, and this is just a glorious double page spread. This is crazy at all the stuff that Eric Talbot did here for this. Anyway, this hands down is oh my gosh, it's just in what I like to call ink slinging. Man, this page. Anyway, I could talk just about this double page spread for 30 minutes, but you guys don't want to see that or hear that. So, all right, let's move on, except know how much I freaking love this image. Ugh. I don't know, and the biggest thing is that because it's done on the paper with the dual tone paper, and this is not archival, which means it fades. It may look cooler, but it's probably brown and yellow where all these things are. So it probably looks a lot different. So whoever owns the art, unless they really took care of it, it most likely does not look like this anymore. All right, and so We good Zog knows, and so I just cannot read that. So all right, and we're going back. This so for those of you who don't know, Eric Talbot is also the guy who did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 17, that story that Michelangelo wrote, and so he can make things be a little bit hard sometimes to make up because he has this dual tone paper absolutely everywhere, plus he throws so much black. So if you're not really paying attention, you'll see that things can sort of meld with each other. And so you have to be careful with that paper, especially when you are just throwing a lot of black at things here. So, all right. So he's going to help them. He's going to help the turtles fight the foot soldiers. He's like a futuristic dinosaur thing. So I really don't know much about it. Anyway, so Michelangelo goes, "This is insane," and so um, uh, this would be Donatello, and he's saying, "What is that?" And so this guy's going, "Yes, here we have them," and then he laughs here, and then he stomps on this, and this is really cool. The image underneath the sewers here, that of the stuff that he's in it, but again, it's so over saturated. I think a little bit more white media would have probably helped. This is one of those cases where too much of a good thing is not good, and some of it is starting to get really muddled. Here's those rats in there. And so he hits the ground, which opens up, and they're like, "He found something. Let's have a look." And of course, they see the foot soldiers there, and so they all jump in there. Looks like a communication center, and so Zod is Zod or Zok Zog. I don't know. I really didn't even pay attention. He starts shooting at them, and so you can see he's gonna hit, probably call for backups, and Raphael says, "Zog, stop! It's over." He's like, "Take no prisoners." Zog, take no. And so he really, man, this one looks awesome. And so Raphael says, "At ease, trooper. You did well. Stay sharp and keep watch." And so Donatello says, "I wouldn't have believed it, but he's led us to one of the main foot control centers. Their entire network could be laid out here. Let's see if I can access their files." Here we go. Let's see what we got. Looks like we've got outposts like this throughout the city, all leading to some sort of main complex. And so Leo says, "Can you get exact locations?" He says, "Working on it." And he's like, "Check this out, Leo. A 3D schematic of Hudson Block. The whole thing's a false front. The inside has been completely gutted and completely rebuilt, with its own tunnel network to points all over the city. Incredible. Orokusaki must be here." Orokusaki, of course, for those of you that don't know, is the Shredder. And so look at this. I mean, all this, he has to use the brush on all these things. I mean, this is a lot. My goodness gracious. We'll need a diversion to pull foot troops away from the main complex. Timed and preset infiltration alarms at various outposts around the city should do it. Now we need a way in, a quiet spot far from internal traffic patterns. Should have plenty of cover and easy access from the city's drainage systems. Wait a minute here, and he presses a thing. "Will attack," and he's like all happy here. And so look at this, the one of the U.S. United Savings Bank here, and so they're gonna go in there. Man, this is so much. So I won't read all this here, but you can see here. So, um, and so Zog is apparently creating some kind of portal here, and so, or and so they're underneath that bank, if I remember correctly here. So, all right. So, one of the turtles is helping him. He's holding the thing here, and so now they're gonna go up. Man, there's just so much of the duotones. This is just it's so cool though. So it's just so different. I think these things are just perfect for this October for wanting. I wanted to do these stories, so I thought it was just perfect. This is how I ended up doing this whole Inktober thing for this month. I wanted to do these stories, and then I was like, well, let's just some other black and whites. So I'm hoping I get the whole I have at least 31 black and whites, and I may. So the problem is I may not be able to do another Inktober because I don't think I'll have enough, but we'll see here. And so they're in, and so they see the foot soldiers, and they're getting ready to go. And now Zog is like, "Long live the Republic!" And so he starts fighting them, and Leo is like, "So much for silent. Quickly, this way. Um, this should lead to the main corridors. We can get to any point in the structure from here. Watch for guards." And Zog is laughing while the turtles are like, "Ooh," and they're like, "Mistake." And so here they go again. Lots of double page spreads. This is insane. Um, Inking this had to have taken him a long time to do all this. This is just crazy. And so here we go. This is just insane. The action, like I mentioned in the previous issue, I think Jim Lawson is the best penciler for the Turtles, but Eric Talbot is such a good inker. And he's actually pretty good. So I believe, if I remember correctly, Jim, or not, Eric Talbot is a tattoo artist now. So, I don't think he draws comics anymore. So we're gonna keep going. There's not too many words, so these things read actually quite fast, and this thing would be even faster if I didn't just keep um going off on how beautiful this art is. Um, but as I mentioned before, it can be a little overwhelming. And so they grab this vehicle, down they go, and you see Ralph. He's like, "Damn it, they're onto us." Looks like the tunnel opens up ahead into the Valley of Death. This is just so cool. Um, Kevin Eastman said that this would be the Return to New York would be the last collaboration that him and um, Peter Laird did with the Turtles for years. They just were never able to get back to drawing because the business side just took over. So it's one of those things. This is such a cool image. Making money is important, but the you can see here the pages didn't quite sync up here, and you gotta there's this thing in business called opportunity cost. It's the cost of doing something versus doing something else, and unfortunately they had to sacrifice doing art to do the business. It's essentially what Todd McFarlane is doing now. Todd McFarlane has to sacrifice his art to be able to run the business. You can't do both well. You have to really dedicate yourself to one or the other. This image is so cool here. So Um, Todd decided that the toy company is that's the moneymaker, and so he doesn't draw, and that's a shame. You know, as a fan, I rather him do art than the toys, and I like toys, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. And you know, he's successful at the toys, and it just makes him more money. So that's where he puts his basket or his eggs on. So you can see that these are just so cool. And he's a little bit beaten up because he's had to do all that. Man, he just that's so cool. And the shredder awaits ahead, and suddenly, boom, he is taken out, and he's like, "Long live the Republic!" And he falls, and they're like, the turtles are like, "Blood everywhere. Zog's been hit. Oh no, Zog!" And Zog is dead, and they're like, he's finished, and they're like, Leo, and then a choke, a sound apparently, look, and we get to, it wasn't the Shredder, it was these three creatures here, kind of looking like the Shredder, and that ends the issue. So, um, told you they're quick. They're a lot of pages, but they turn they go real fast because it's really a lot of fighting and a lot of wordless stuff. So beautiful art, beautiful art. So all right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 20. It's Return to New York Part 2 by Kevin Eastman with Peter Laird, a story, pencils Jim Lawson, and inks by Eric Talbot, who does an incredible job. And then Kevin Eastman should be the inker for the final part. And I love Kevin Eastman's inks, but this thing here was just incredible. So, like and subscribe, and I do thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.